Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel English with Kalu. Today I'm in front of Duomo Church in Messina. From here I'm gonna teach you the brief history of English language and the history of this Duomo Church. Stay tuned and welcome back to my channel, and let's go ahead to learn more about this church and the history of English language. First, talk about the history of Cathedral of Messina. The origin of Cathedral of Messina date back to Byzantine period, more precisely during the time of the Emperor Justin I. Approximately the year of construction is 530 AD, whose foundations were used by recycling the rumble of Temple of Neptune from 7th century BC. During the Arab colonization in Sicily, the city of Messina was one of the main Muslim centers of the entire island, so much so that structures such as the Cathedral of Messina and the Church of the Annunciation of Catalans, they were redeveloped to house their mosques. The Cathedral of Messina returned to host Christianity during the 11th century, in which the Grand Count Roger I of Sicily he freed Messina from the Arabs and restored the Christian religion to the city. Between the 16th and 17th centuries, the Cathedral of Messina was damaged several times due to natural disasters, including the devastating earthquake of 1693, to be always rebuilt. The 18th century is the year in which it sees the greatest number of restorations and extensions, also thanks to the diffusion of Baroque Sicilian throughout the island, with various details that were also included in the Cathedral of Messina. Okay, let's talk about one of the significant parts of this cathedral. It is the bell tower. The bell tower of the Cathedral of Messina contains the largest and most complex mechanical and astronomical clock in the world, designed by the Angera firm of Stroberg. It was inaugurated in 1933 and is still the main attraction of the city today. To a complex system of levers and counterweights allows the movement of the automaton statues in bronze, which are located on the facade and which are linked to the civil and religious traditions of the city. The bell tower can be visited inside. Along the path of the stairs, you can admire the bronze statues and the complex of ingenious system of levers and gears that allows the movement of the clock. Arriving at the viewpoint, you can enjoy the 360 degrees panorama of the city, and it's straight. The mechanism moves every day at 12 and lasts 12 minutes. Every quarter of an hour during the day, the two heroines on either side of the rooster move, Dina and Clarenza, who strikes the quarters of hours and the carousel of the ages. Okay, welcome back to English with Kalu, my YouTube channel, and please do not forget to subscribe for future videos. Now let's begin to study about today's lessons, the history of English language. The history of English language really started with the arrival of three Germanic tribes who invaded Britain during the 5th century AD. These tribes, the Angles, the Saxons, and the Jutes, crossed the North Sea from that today is Denmark and northern Germany. At that time, the inhabitants of Britain spoke a Celtic language, but most of the Celtic speakers were pushed west and north by the invaders, mainly into what is now Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. The Angles came from England and their language was called English, from which the word England and English are derived. English belongs to the Indo-European family of languages and is therefore related to the most other languages spoken in Europe and Western Asia, from Iceland to India. The parent tongue called Proto-Indo-European was spoken about 5,000 years ago by nomads believed to have roamed the Southeast European plains. A significant subsequent influence on the shaping of Old English came from contact with the North Germanic languages spoken by Scandinavian Vikings who conquered and colonized parts of Britain during the 8th and 9th centuries, which led to much lexical borrowing and grammatical simplification. The Anglian dialects had a greater influence on Middle English. After the Norman conquest, in 1066, Old English was replaced, for a time, by Anglo-Norman as the language of the upper classes. This is regarded as marking the end of Old English or Anglo-Saxon era, as during this period the English language was heavily influenced by Anglo-Norman, developing into a pace known now as Middle English. The conquering Normans spoke a Romance langue Doyle called Old Norman, which is Britain developed into Anglo-Norman. Many Norman and French loan words entered the local language in this period, especially in vocabulary related to the church, the court system, and the government. As Normans are descendants of Vikings who invaded France, Norman French was influenced by Old Norse, and many Norse loanwords in English came directly from French. Middle English was spoken to the late 15th century. The system of orthography that was established during the Middle English period is largely still in use today. Later, changes in pronunciation, however, combined with the adoption of various foreign spellings, mean that the spellings of modern English words appears highly irregular. Early modern English, the language used by William Shakespeare, is dated from around 1500. It incorporated many Renaissance-era loans from Latin and ancient Greek, as well as borrowing from other European languages, including French, German, and Dutch. Significant pronunciation changes in this period included the ongoing Great Vowel Shift, which affected the qualities of most long vowels. Modern English proper, similar in most respect to the spoken today, was in place by the late 17th century. English as we know it today came to be exported to other parts of the world through British colonization and is now the dominant language in Britain and Ireland, the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and many smaller former colonies, as well as being widely spoken in India, parts of Africa, and elsewhere. Partially due to influence of United States and its globalized efforts of commerce and technology, English took on the status of a global lingua franca in the second half of 20th century. This is especially true in Europe, where English has largely taken over the former roles of French and Latin as a common language used to conduct business and diplomacy, share scientific and technological information, and otherwise communicate across national boundaries. The efforts of English-speaking Christian missionaries have resulted in English becoming a second language for many other groups. Global variation among different English dialects and accents remains significant today. Scots, a form of English traditionally spoken in parts of Scotland and the north of Ireland, is sometimes treated as a separate language. During the invasion, the native Britons were driven north and west into lands we now know as Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. Today we discussed about the history of English language, and do not forget to subscribe for future videos. I'm Kalu. Thank you for watching video. Take care.